Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Miles Austin offers blueprint for athletic Cowboys rookie WR. It's late June, which is about as quiet a period as we can have in and around the NFL. There's still plenty percolating around the Cowboys and the foundational stars on the roster that need new contracts, but there are other aspects of this team to consider too. One of them is depth at the receiver position. There isn't much. We know that. There's CeeDee Lamb, one of the players in need of a new deal, and there's Brandon Cooks. But after the release of veteran Michael Gallup, there is no clear third receiver, though Jalen Tolbert will certainly get his crack at filling that role. But there's a name on the roster that could bear watching, if not in the short term than in the long term. Ryan Flournoy, the Cowboys' 6th-round pick out of Southeast Missouri State. On one hand, Flournoy will be challenged even to make the roster for the 2024 Cowboys. But on the other, he could follow in the footsteps of another lightly regarded receiver who blossomed into a Pro Bowler in Dallas, Miles Austin. In a lengthy post at Cowboys Wire this week, writer Reed Hansen noted that Austin's explosion into stardom 15 years ago could well be a blueprint for Flournoy's future. Cowboys' gamble paid off on Miles Austin. It's an interesting correlation. Here's how Hansen wrote it. Austin serves as the blueprint for how to slowly and effectively develop an athletically gifted prospect from a lower-rated college football program. His steady work in the background progressed year after year, and when he was finally given the chance a quarter of the way into his 4th season, he exploded, posting 2 consecutive Pro Bowl seasons and cashing in for over $40 million in career earnings. It's a blueprint Cowboys rookie Ryan Flournoy should be mindful of. Austin, an undrafted rookie from Monmouth, did not play much in his first 3 seasons, making 18 catches in 37 mostly special teams games from 2006 to 2008. But when the Cowboys took the training wheels off in 2009, he exploded for 1,320 yards, 11 touchdowns, and the first of 2 Pro Bowl spots. Like Austin, who set the receiving record at Monmouth, Flournoy has good measurables and starred at a small school, earning back-to-back first-team All-Big South Ohio Valley Conference honors. He ran a 4.44 40-yard dash, right in line with that of Austin, 4.47. Flournoy is a potentially freakish athlete, the same raw ability that the team saw in Austin early on. They have similar builds too. Austin was 6'2" and 215 pounds, and Flournoy is 6'1", 202 pounds with room to fill out. Ryan Flournoy requires patience, but there could be some big differences with Flournoy. The Cowboys were able to be very patient in how they brought along Austin, but can the team have the same level of discipline when it comes to Flournoy? And will he put in the work to learn the precise NFL route running and blocking concepts that will make him a reliable player in the league? Austin was able to stay put and develop despite coaching changes with the Cowboys. Will Flournoy get that same consistent chance to develop if Mike McCarthy moves on after the season? If the patience and work are there, Flournoy has the potential to follow Austin's example. It's clear he has the athletic ability and size to be an NFL WR. He just needs to learn the nuances of the position. That's no small task, since many talented players have tried and failed to achieve that, Hansen wrote. Austin showed the results are worth it. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott claims he has a great pass catcher and it's not CeeDee Lamb. The Dallas Cowboys have not come anywhere close to meeting the expectations set for them over the past few years. This is, in many ways, surprising given the immense amount of talent that they have on both sides of the ball. On offense, especially, the Cowboys have an NFL MVP candidate in Dak Prescott and an All-Pro wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. Prescott and Lamb, of course, have been making headlines all spring due to their contract situations. Lamb is holding out for a massive extension and has not attended any team activities. Prescott is entering the final year of his deal and is seeking a contract that could make him the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL. Due to these captivating storylines, these two players have garnered much of the attention given to the team. However, Prescott has not forgotten that he has other great weapons around him. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott has high praise for tight end Jake Ferguson. Tight End University is a well-known summer camp for professional and collegiate tight ends that is hosted by San Francisco 49ers Pro Bowler George Kittle Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce, and former NFL tight end Greg Olsen. In addition to drill work, guest speakers are brought in to talk to attendees about life in the NFL and the importance of the tight end position. Recently, Prescott was invited to speak at the event and used it as an opportunity to praise his own tight end, Jake Ferguson, a guy that blocks down in and down out, goes and catches passes. He never has to come off the field, no matter what the situation is. He's a mismatch advantage. That's what makes tight ends great, and I've got a young great one, Jake Ferguson, as well. Love tight ends, of coming to tight end university and throwing to the players in attendance. Prescott said, "I think tight ends are a quarterback's friend because they communicate so well and you're on the same page and understand each other. Being able to use this as a resource to learn the tight end position even further, not only that, to speed up my process with Jake. The NFL is full of talented tight ends, but Kittle and Kelce are certainly considered to be the best of the best. However, Ferguson is entering just his third year in the NFL and has already made the Pro Bowl the speedy rise of Dallas Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson. The Cowboys certainly have had a great run at the tight end position. Jason Witten, of course, was one of the best at the position during his playing days. While Dalton Schultz was never a Pro Bowler, he was a solid player at the position as well. But it was Ferguson's athleticism and dynamic playmaking ability that made it easy for the Cowboys to move on from Schultz following the 2022 NFL season. Even though the former Wisconsin Badgers product had only 19 receptions for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns as a rookie, it was clear that he was Dallas' future at the tight end position. In his second season, his first as the Cowboys' starting tight end, Ferguson had 71 receptions for 761 yards and 5 touchdowns. Obviously, these were drastically higher numbers than those from his rookie season. As questions around Lamb continued to go unanswered, and as the futures of both Prescott and the All-Pro wide receiver are, for the moment, uncertain, it is good for Dallas fans to realize that they have another budding star on their roster. Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat despite holding a Cowboys coaching record. There is no question that Mike McCarthy is coaching for his job with the Dallas Cowboys in 2024. Set to enter the season with an expiring contract, McCarthy's on unusually shaky ground for the coach with the best win-loss record in franchise history. That's right, not Tom Landry or Jimmy Johnson. Not even Barry Switzer, who swooped in and scooped up wins off of Johnson's foundation. It's McCarthy, who after 3 consecutive 12-5 regular seasons is 42-25 with a .627 winning percentage. He narrowly edges Swizzer's 40-24 record, .625%, from his 4-year run with Dallas in the mid-90s. What's even more impressive is that McCarthy's record suffers from that 6-10 start in 2020. If not for trying to start his Dallas run during the COVID-19 pandemic and losing QB Dak Prescott for 11 games to a leg injury, McCarthy would probably have several more wins and a wider margin between Switzer and the rest of the field. Some NFL franchises would be quick to commit to a coach who's brought them so much overall success. But McCarthy's 1-3 postseason record is the noose currently tightening around his neck. 3 straight 12-5 seasons are nullified by 3 straight playoff exits, especially given how Dallas has been outclassed in those losses. It was one thing when Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers seemed to have the Cowboys' number, but last year's embarrassing home loss to the Packers was the worst yet. McCarthy was brought in to elevate the team from the cycle of the Jason Garrett years. Garrett wasn't nearly as consistent as McCarthy, but he did win some division titles and 3 times won 10-plus games in his 9 years as a full head coach. It can be argued that Garrett was working with inferior talent to what Dallas currently enjoys. If you look at Dallas' playoff losses in 2014 and 2016, both were arguably better showings than McCarthy's Cowboys have had. One could argue that if not for Micah Parsons' arrival in 2021, McCarthy might not have made it this far. He and Dan Quinn lucked out with a generational talent that suddenly made the Cowboys' defense a strength, helping them overcome a declining offensive line and rushing attack to remain competitive against the majority of NFL teams. That's why Mike McCarthy is heading into 2024 with no certainty about his future. With Mike Zimmer waiting in the wings, who knows if McCarthy will even make it to the final game. It might seem unfair given his record so far in Dallas, but so far he hasn't fulfilled his assignment. Even with the franchise's best win-loss record to date, the end results haven't improved from the last regime.